Today will be the first day that I'll, look at offensive and defensive line. Everyone, obviously, we've written the stories and we've talked about it. Florida's whole retooled offensive line. There's no point in watching them, the first 2 days. Like when the offensive linemen and defensive linemen aren't in pads, they're playing patty cake. When you get the pads on, the helmets are on, things start popping. So I think today and Saturday will be the first day where, I really start to migrate over to those big guys.
Yeah, and that is obviously where so much of the focus is, just because of how many pieces that they lost along that offensive line and all the new ones that have been added. You lose 4 of your 5 starters, basically, even though Austin Barber made 5 starts last season, he still wasn't a full-time starter. So, but hearing from Rob Sale this week sounds like he might be Florida's best offensive lineman right now, or one of their best. And, he's just done a really good job, I think, just in his development from where he was a year ago. And now you have him and Kingsley Eguakon that are really kind of anchoring that line. And after that, it's really a bunch of newcomers. Richie Leonard's been in the program. He obviously made a start last season for the first time. Actually, that was his second career start. So he's certainly a guy that's probably in line to earn a job. But after that, man, there is a lot of battles to be had and a lot of depth, I think, to be sorted out. But the good thing is that the numbers are there and the experience is there. And as we've talked about on the show before, the Gators lose 4 offensive linemen and don't have to just completely, take a step back from a developmental standpoint. Thanks to the transfer portal, they're able to get guys that got years of experience, some even as starters, and that's going to potentially allow them to not have much of a drop-off, maybe even improve or upgrade in some spots. And I think a lot of excitement for Micah Mazuka. But, again, this is now finally the time we're actually going to see some of these guys get to push some folks around.
Yeah, the big thing for me is from listening to Rob Sale talk is that Micah – listen, I think he's going to play a different position than Osiris. We all talked about Osiris, him being Osiris's replacement, but Micah plays on the left side, Osiris is on the right side. But you're replacing 4 starters. So it doesn't matter where he is, he's going to be a starter. The biggest thing that I took away from Rob Sale was Sale saying some guys you need to tell them how to do something, show them how to do something, and then they need a practice or 2 to mess up, and then you go to the film room, and then you show them how they messed up, and then they might get it the next practice. You tell Micah, hey, you need to do this, and he goes, okay. And you're like, do you got it? Were you even listening? And then the next rep, you're like, yep, he got it. He just heard it and did it. So to me, that's just a veteran player. And you get that through reps and through experience. And also some guys just the game comes naturally to them. Mm-hmm. I think if you asked like Kyle Pitts, he probably would have told you the game didn't come naturally to me. Like he developed into the monster that he is for the Atlanta Falcons right now. Also, unless the Falcons draft a quarterback, we need to free Kyle Pitts, get him out of Atlanta. My goodness. But I digress. But that's something that is impressive to me, and something we had talked about on this show, Zach, was Richie Leonard. Do you make him earn? Do you make Kingsley earn his spot? Because Richie's played center. Do you put him there? It seems right now, no, that Florida's intent on keeping Kingsley Eguakon at center and having Richie and Micah on either side of him. And then another update that we got from Rob Sale was that you're going to keep Goodwin, Keontae Goodwin, and Damian George on the outside.
Yeah,
so I think Austin Barber has cemented left tackle. And now with those 2, one of them will win the right tackle job, and then you kind of have a swing guy. So I expect you'll probably see Austin Barber playing some right tackle just to give the other guys chances to play left tackle. Like Austin's going to be your left tackle, but if he goes down, you need to have Keontae and Damian ready to swing over to left tackle, in a pinch.
Yep, and that's, honestly, that's what Austin had to do at times last season. And one more thing on Mazuka that we didn't just hear from Rob Sale, I think heard from a couple players, and maybe I think even Billy mentioned this. Micah Mazuka is one of the guys on the football team that you do not want to get caught in a dark alley with. And we heard several guys mention that, and you know, as Rob Sales said, sometimes that dude just comes in the building pissed off and you know, walks right in and early in the morning, and he's already got that attitude. He's got that mean streak going, and I do think that is for just, you know, early comparisons here, and it's not, but that is something that he might bring that's a little bit different than Osiris. Like Osiris, anybody that met this guy, that heard him on our show, I mean, the guy's a big teddy bear. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a very soft-spoken, you know, gentle individual until he straps up that helmet and he gets out there and goes between those lines. But I think Micah is just got a little bit more of a mean streak, got a little bit more of a, you know, mauler to him, and he's definitely going to bring that. I think, you know, you're losing not only him but Ethan White. I mean, so both of your guards have moved on. You needed somebody to step in that was going to be able to bring it like that. And it sounds like that's going to be no problem whatsoever with Micah.
Yeah, and it's a guy who, coming from the Big 12, coming from Baylor to Florida, we use the term a lot, and it probably gets overused, you know, that chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Guys leaving the Big 12 or the Pac-12, Ricky Pearsall, they're coming here to prove a point. Like, hey, you didn't get an SEC offer, or you didn't go to an SEC school at a high school. Now that you're here, he's, you know, like Osiris came and you're trying to show, or Montrell Johnson came. You're trying to show, hey, y'all missed me before.
Yeah.
And now that I'm here, I'm going to show you what you've missed out on and that you missed me when you're in high school. So an established player at Baylor, I think you're coming here with a chip on your shoulder, ready to prove something. And listen, even though it's a different position, big shoes to fill, because you've been put into this box of transfer offensive lineman. And hey, the last one was a consensus All-American.
Yeah.
So good luck.